and welcome to the Alliance for Hope International Affiliated Centers webinar series. My name is Rayanne Passantino, and I am the Assistant Director of Family Justice Center Programs. I am excited to host this series that will showcase each of our affiliated centers by giving them an opportunity to share information about their sites and the work they are doing in their community. For more information about becoming an affiliated center or creating a center in your community, please visit our website at www.allianceforhope.com. I now have the great pleasure of introducing Craig Roberts, who will introduce himself and take you on a tour of the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center. Craig?
Thank you, Rayanne. I'm Craig Roberts, the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center Director. I've been with the center since 2005. Prior to that, I was the Assistant Director under our very capable and very awesome founding director, Susan Adams. Prior to coming to the Family Justice Center, I ran the Protection Order Division of the Superior Court Clerk's Office. So I began planning for this jump probably 2 years before we actually came on as the Director and Assistant Director to try and get the doors open. We're named in honor of Crystal Judson Brame. Very sad story. She was murdered by her husband, who happened to be the Tacoma police chief at the time. He then killed himself. This was all done in front of their two young children. So as a part of the settlement with the city of Tacoma, it was agreed that we would be named after her, and we're proudly named after her. The city of Tacoma and Pierce County entered into an interlocal agreement where they have agreed to split the administrative costs of the center's operation, which means rent and utilities and certain salaries and benefits. Most of our programs where we actually provide services are funded via grants, and we're really appreciative of those federal grants that fund a large portion of it. One thing that probably makes us unique is that we don't ask our community partners or our government partners to pay rent. We supply the space. We go out and find grant funding for our community partners to actually pay for their people to be here. And I think that really sets us apart. We know the labor force we're going to have from day to day, and we can really plan, and we get good people. I'll tell you a little bit about our community. Our population of Pierce County is just under 900,000. We're a pretty large county. We're over 1,800 square miles, which is larger than the state of Rhode Island. We have a lot of rural and urban areas. As you can see from the picture, we range from sea level to over 14,000 feet to the top of Mount Rainier. And when you see Seattle, like you watch a sports game, a Seahawks game, and they pan on the mountain, Seattle always tries to claim our mountain, but that's really ours. Another unique part about our county is we stretch across the Olympic Peninsula, and we have islands that are inhabited that are only accessible by ferry. So there could be the possibility of extreme isolation. One of the things that we thought was very important to do was give someone a chance to really experience what it's like to be here. The fear of the unknown is oftentimes what keeps people from coming to our center to receive services. So the better we can acquaint them with just how soft and friendly a place it is, we have created a virtual tour which basically shows you the operations of our center, and we'll show that to you now.
Welcome to the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center, a place of help and safety. We are here to serve victims of domestic violence and also the friends and family members of victims who are looking for ways to help their loved one. We are a place for victims and survivors of domestic violence to come for safe, confidential services from a wide variety of providers. We are not a shelter, but we can help you find shelter or other housing services. All services provided at the center are free of charge. Who can get services at the Family Justice Center? The FJC serves victims and survivors of domestic violence regardless of their gender or sexual orientation. What services does the center offer? You can access a wide variety of services at the center. These services include obtaining a protection order, receiving education about domestic violence and safety planning, attending counseling or support group facilitated by a licensed mental health specialist, establishing a safety plan, working with a DSHS specialist on site, meeting with the chaplain for spiritual support, speaking with the Department of Child Support Enforcement specialist, and more. A complete list of partners and services is located on the website, or you may call the Domestic Violence Helpline to answer your questions Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. Do I need an appointment? We work with people on a walk-in basis. Our walk-in hours are between 8:30 and 3:30 Monday through Friday. We strongly encourage you to come to the center as early in the day as possible, as services are provided on a first-come, first-served basis. After your first visit, you and your advocate can set up more appointments if that's what you want. What happens when I arrive? When you arrive at the center, you will be greeted by our friendly front desk staff. They will ask you to complete some paperwork which will help us best meet your needs. You will not be asked about your immigration status. All the information you provide will be kept confidential. Once inside, you will be seated in the living room where you can watch TV, use the on-site computer or phone if needed, and have a cup of coffee, tea, or juice and a snack if you are hungry. There will be volunteers available to answer questions about the Family Justice Center and services on site while you wait to meet your advocate. Can I bring my children? The Family Justice Center is a child-friendly place with 2 play areas to entertain our small guests. There is no formal childcare provided by the center, so you will be responsible for your children while you're here. You will meet with your advocate in a private room where you will be able to talk about why you are visiting the center. If you do have children, there is a play area they can use that allows you and your child to see one another while you meet with your advocate. What can an advocate do for me? Your advocate is there to provide you with education and connect you to the services you need. The advocate will not tell you what to do. Instead, they will help you figure out what you want to do. Dealing with issues of domestic violence can take a long time and a lot of energy. Your advocate understands this and will make sure our services are there for you as long as you need them. At the end of the day, the safety of you and your children is our most important concern. Whatever you decide to do, the advocate will be there to help you plan for your safety. What if I'm not comfortable speaking English? The center has advocates who speak a number of different languages. If it's a language we don't offer on site, we will provide an interpreter free of charge. Please call the Domestic Violence Helpline at 253-798-4166 to make these arrangements before coming to the center. Interpretation services are also available for phone calls. To ensure your confidentiality, we do not use friends, family members, or children to act as interpreters for you at the center. What if I'm hearing impaired? You can reach us through a TTY phone line or by sending us an email, or request a sign language interpreter before your visit at no cost to you. What is my next step? You are in control of how you choose to use the services and support of the center. After your first visit, your advocate will be the main contact to help you move forward. Our goal is to provide you with the resources and options you need to make the choices that are best for you and your family. Friends and family members are welcome to come with you to the center to support you. Your advocate will ask to speak with you privately in order to ensure your confidentiality. If you have any concerns about this, please let your advocate know. Where is the Family Justice Center? We are located at 718 Court E in downtown Tacoma. A map and driving directions are available on our website at aplaceofhelp.org. Parking is reserved for you on the south side of the building. We look forward to meeting with you.
So I think to wrap it up, we can talk about one thing that we noticed from the very beginning is the one thing that you can count on is constant change as a Family Justice Center. Whether that's adjusting your programs, your policies, procedures, you name it, you're going to go through change. So we stole a little guide for growth and change from Ellen Pence, and we think it's very important that we remember why we're here and really match up what we're doing with what's best for the survivors that we work with. So The four things that we use whenever considering any kind of change is, does this enhance the survivor's safety? Are other considerations superseding the survivor's safety? In other words, are we going for a certain pot of money that will bring in revenue for us, but it may not really do much for the survivors that we work with? How does this affect the survivor's self-determination and autonomy? Are we allowing them to decide what direction they go? And also, finally, how does this deal with power differential caused both by the violence and the differing social positions of the survivor and abuser? So all these in one, we have to address before we adopt any kind of a change. And I think we have a few minutes for questions.
Thank you so much, Craig. That was wonderful. Couple questions I do have. Tell us, what is the one thing that makes your center unique? There are many family justice centers and multi-agency centers in the United States. So tell us what makes your center unique.
I think I touched on it briefly earlier. We pay our community partners to be here on site. We don't require them to stretch their budgets and cover a salary that isn't going to provide a service at their location. We've had such good luck with our community partners that we rarely have turnover, but when we do, we're involved in the hiring process. That's how intimate we are.
Wow, that's fabulous. Can you tell us why you decided to affiliate?
Well, we've been around a long time, but we also realize that there is a tremendous amount of knowledge out there in these other centers that have been through. They may have been through something that we haven't, and we're able to tap into that and get advice and work together in that regard.
And have you reaped any benefits as an affiliated center? So such as, have you been able to attend conferences? Have you, has being affiliated helped you in the community at all? Things like that.
Well, I recently attended the Leadership Summit in New Orleans, and I was able to kind of pick the brain of other people who are doing really unique things across the country and across the world. And so we're able to take those ideas back and implement them to better serve our community.
Great. What is one piece of advice you'd want to share with open centers and one piece of advice that you'd want to share with developing centers?
I think for both, just don't be afraid of the change, and this isn't for you. We're constantly evolving, bringing on new programs, doing better things for our community and for the survivors that we work with.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time, and thank you all for participating and watching in our webinar series. And again, if you have any questions about becoming affiliated or creating a center in your community, visit our website at www.allianceforhope.com. Thanks a lot and take care. Bye.